Alright guys, so today's video is finally my top 10 true wireless earbuds of 2022. This isn't broken down into any category like price or sport earbud or anything like that. The only stipulations with this list is it has to be an earbud that was released in 2022. And just like other lists that I do, I never duplicate an earbud from a certain brand. So if I do have a Sony earbud on this list, there will only be one Sony earbud on this list. Now I decided to do 10 instead of 5 because there was a lot that came out this year and it was really hard to actually even narrow it down to these 10. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into these, and coming in at number 10 is the 10 Hi-Fi 10 Buds 3. Now you probably haven't heard a lot about these. They're basically an IEM type experience in a pair of true wireless earbuds, and that even goes with the sound of these. They're not an expensive pair. They do come in at $89, but in a pair like this, you're not really paying for features. You are definitely going to be paying for the sound. And speaking of the sound, this pair does use beryllium diaphragm drivers. Again, that's something that's pretty common in IEMs. And the sound that that's giving you with this pair is a very clear and detailed sound. Now, it does have a nice little subtle punch in the low end, but this isn't one of those bass heavy earbuds. But if you want to hear subtle sounds, if you want to hear specific details in songs, this is one of the best earbuds to do that with. And that's why I put the 10 Hi-Fi 10 Buds 3 in at number 10. Now, number 9 on the list, again, this one is making list, although I have just recently checked them out, and that is the Donner Buds. And the price on these is already what caught my attention because they normally come in at $49, although right now you can pick them up for $43. And if you ever wanted to check out a Soundcore pair of earbuds and you don't want to pay Soundcore's price, although they're not usually that expensive, this is the way to go. The packaging resembled Soundcore. The app presentation kind of looked like Soundcore's, especially when it came to those EQ options. And even the sound signature on this pair almost mimicked Soundcore's earbuds. So you're getting that really dynamic sound, but there is a lot of space. It is a very open sounding earbud. The space that you get in the low end where you can still have that impact and not feel like it's just smothering the rest of your sound is definitely what makes this pair stand out. But like I said, you do have an app that you can go in and switch around some EQ settings. And the reason they're able to get the sound the way that they are and not have it sound muddy or congested is they're using 12mm dynamic drivers mixed with balanced armature driver. So, you have that dynamic driver handling that low end, but the balanced armature driver is still allowed to focus on details and keep everything pretty well separated. And again, it's an excellent value at its normal retail price, but the fact that you can get them for $43 right now easily makes it an excellent value, and that's why the Donner Buds come in at number 9. Now, number 8 on the list, this is probably going to be higher on some other people's list, but I think the price is kind of what's keeping it down a little bit, is the Sennheiser Momentum 3s. Now, they basically took what was already successful in the 1 and the 2s, and they're just gradually improving with each earbud. And so this pair has excellent noise canceling, and it is one of the most natural sounding earbuds out of all true wireless earbuds out there. They're not really trying to overemphasize the low end and the treble as much as some other ones. And so it just sounds really pleasing across all genres. Now, this pair does have aptX adaptive, so depending on your connection and what you're listening to and things like that, it will just adapt to make sure that you're getting the best out of your sound. It does have wireless charging, which in this price range, because these do retail for $250, although at this exact moment, they're actually on sale for $198. But if you're a fan of Sennheiser in general, or if you like Sennheiser's sound, it's nice to have it on the go and in a pair of true wireless earbuds, and that's why I put the Sennheiser Momentum 3s in at number 8. Now, number 7 on the list, now this is one that wouldn't have originally been on my list when they came out, and that is the Google Pixel Buds Pro. But because of an update, and because they fixed the bass that I felt like was lacking when it originally came out, it immediately jumped up on my list because it was already a pair that had great noise canceling. The app is giving you a lot of different features, and it just really works well within Google's ecosystem. Now, they do normally retail for $199, although throughout the holidays, I've kind of seen them fluctuate up and down to like $149, $179. So just kind of wait around if they're sitting at $199 if you're wanting to save a little bit of money. But the sound on these, I think, are excellent now. Because of that bass feature that it added, this pair can definitely deliver in the low end. And it was already a very clean and clear sounding earbud. So now they just have the bass to be able to match the mids and the highs. So it is just an excellent sounding earbud. It's packed with features. You do get wireless charging, and it's just a great all around earbud. And that's why I put the Pixel Buds Pro in at number 7. Now, number 6 on the list is the LG Tone-Free T90. Now, this is not a cheap pair. It does come in at $229, although right now you can actually pick it up for $176. And on top of having excellent noise canceling and excellent sound, and their app is actually giving you a lot of different features, what makes this pair stand out is the fact that you can use a 3.5mm normal headphone jack connection and plug the case into anything that has a headphone jack and still get wireless audio transmitted to your earbuds. So this pair has a lot more flexibility than other pairs. You can go to the gym, plug it into equipment. You can be on a plane, plug it into that. Where you can't use normal true wireless earbuds, this one adds its value by being able to be used in all those ways. And again, like I said, it sounds excellent. It is a very dynamic, in-your-face type sounding earbud. It does not lack on details. In fact, the treble on this pair is quite bright, but it is pretty well balanced because they're giving you a very punchy bass as well. It's just a fun earbud to listen to, and that's why I have the LG Tone-Free T90s in at number 6. Now, number 5 on the list, this was one that originally was much higher, but there's been some pretty impressive ones to come out lately, and that is the One More Evo. And I still think it's an excellent value because this pair has LDAC playback. We're starting to see it in some more budget options, which is nice, but this pair comes in at $169, although right now you can pick it up for $149. Now, when I originally did the review on these, I felt like they definitely competed with the Sony and the Bose. They're trying to give you as many features as possible. I felt like the noise canceling was very good. In fact, there's like 4 different levels of noise canceling on this pair, and it even has adaptive noise canceling, so it will just kind of change depending on the setting around you. Now, this pair also works with One More's app, and it is important you use this app because you do have to go through that sound ID where it's trying to do like a hearing test so that it can personalize the sound the way that it thinks that you like to hear sound. But once you go through that, the sound is fantastic. One More's always been one of those companies I've been very impressed with, and they did not disappoint with this pair. I consider this their flagship pair, so they threw everything that they could at these, and I think you're getting a lot for your money, and that's why I put the One More Evos in at number 5. Now, number 4 on the list, this is a budget pair that's creeped its way up into the top 5. I've just been overly impressed with this pair, and I still get impressed every time that I use them, and that is the Edifier W240TNs. Edifier is, again, one of those companies, they're more so known for like their bookshelf or desktop speakers. They do make headphones and earbuds and things like that. But up until this pair, they've never really like blown me away with their earbuds. But this pair specifically, it is so dynamic, it is so spacious, and that's probably because they are using dual dynamic drivers. So, you know, they're giving you as much as they possibly can, and there's no balanced armature driver. They're not trying to like lean one way over the other. They're just trying to give you as much out of your sound that you possibly can in a very dynamic way. So it's just fun to listen to. The ANC on this pair was even very good, which I was surprised with. And the fact that they normally retail for like $99, although they're on sale right now for $64. This is another one that has an app. You have different EQ options and settings that you can switch between. Battery life is even impressive because you can get 8.5 hours on a single charge and about 25 hours using the case. And what is also a nice touch is it actually uses a physical button instead of touch control. So no accidental touches. You actually have to purposely push the button to get it to do the controls that you want. Wrapping it up with everything that this pair has to offer and getting it as cheap as you can, that made the Edifier W240TNs an easy one to throw in at number 4. So now we're moving into our top 3. And number 3 on the list is the Soundcore Liberty 4. The noise canceling is great. Their app that they have is one of the best out there because you have so many different features you can use. You have so many different EQ options, and this pair responds very well to different EQ settings. It has LDAC playback, which is huge. It is also using dual dynamic drivers. So again, it's another pair that's just trying to throw everything at you. And because it is a Soundcore product, it has a lot of space. It's not just destroying the audio. So you're able to enjoy that bright treble and that really punchy bass without it just destroying everything. It's just a very pleasing sounding earbud. If you do want to dial it back some, like I said, just go in and mess around with the EQ settings. And although it's a stem style earbud and I'm not a huge fan of those, it just sounds so good and blocks out so much noise. And also because the price tag on these, they do retail for $149, but throughout the holidays, we've already seen it kind of come down every now and then as well. So again, just kind of keep checking back on the price if you don't want to pay full retail, because it is dropping every now and then. So number 2 on the list is a pair from Sony, but it's not the pair that you would think it is. Most people are going to think I'm automatically going to go with the XM4s, which is an excellent pair, but I feel like the LinkBuds S is giving you a lot more for your money. In fact, I do think the LinkBuds S sound better than the XM4s because out of the box you get silicone ear tips instead of the foam ear tips that comes with the XM4s, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But the silicone ear tips, you're just getting better low end. It does kind of pull back a little bit on the noise canceling compared to the XM4s, but the noise canceling in the LinkBuds S is still some of the best out there. And you also get Sony's app, which is personally my favorite when it comes to apps for earbuds. I feel like you have so much control, so many features. It's basically getting the XM4 experience, and it's a lot cheaper. I mean, they do retail for $199, but throughout the holidays, I've seen them drop to $129, although right now they are $149. And comparing these to anything else at $150, I still think this is one of the better pairs. They could have easily had this one retail for $250, and you still are getting all of those same features that you are paying for with the XM4s. And I just think that this is Sony's best earbud out there. And that's why I put the Sony LinkBuds S in at number 2. Now, number 1 on the list, this one's definitely the most expensive one on the list, and so it kind of falls into that you get what you pay for. Although I am normally not one to believe this, but the NeuroTrue Pro sounds so good, and it just fits the sound signature that I like. It does an excellent job of noise canceling. So even though they retail at $329, I think that it definitely is worth the price for me because I lean towards paying for sound quality. And so far, this is my favorite sounding true wireless earbud that I've tested. You do want to go through and use Neura's app because it does have a hearing test. That's one thing that they've incorporated all the way back to the Neura phones. It's giving you the most out of your audio, but this is also the first pair of true wireless earbuds to give you lossless audio. And I think this is huge because this is what's going to make true wireless earbuds finally compete with IEMs and studio headphones, because you're not losing out on sound quality because you have to use a Bluetooth connection. So that in itself is impressive, although it is limited to the devices that you can use because not all devices have the Snapdragon sound and specifically the Snapdragon processor that it has to have to be able to give you that lossless audio. So definitely make sure to check out their site to see which devices can do this. I know that the Zenfone 9 is one of those that can do it, but even if you do not use the lossless audio and you just happen to use it on whatever phone that you have now, the sound quality is still above everything else that I've tested. I mean, the low end on these, the bass has a rumble to it. I am a bass head, so that is something that's important to me, but I also do not like to sacrifice the rest of my audio. I like to have it sound crystal clear. I like mids to sound pretty forward. That way the vocals aren't lost if a lot of things are going on. I am somebody that listens to all kinds of genres. I do listen to a lot of metal, which is a genre where a lot's going on. So a pair that can deliver all of this and keep things separated and be able to make you feel isolated because of the noise canceling. This is the pair that I've enjoyed using the most, and that's why I put the NeuroTrue Pros in at number 1. But guys, that wraps up my top 10 true wireless earbuds of 2022. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.